Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions regarding this watch. Today, we're discussing an old friend that I have yet to record using the current corporate nomenclature, so here it goes. This is the Patek Philippe 5204P-011. The original 5204 in platinum came out in 2012. It replaced the legendary 5004 split-second Chronograph Perpetual calendar. So this is the -011 that was made from 2014 through 2019. So this is a watch that is 40.2 millimeters in diameter in platinum, 14.5 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 46.8 millimeters, and 20 millimeters the spacing between the lugs. If you're wondering what makes this different, this is the platinum one with the black dial, and they did everything right, ensuring that the discs for the day and the month were black, although where was the leap year? Nevertheless, this watch is easy to wear. It's got a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs, and it wears nicely. Although it's not as small as the 36 millimeter 5004, it's a more durable watch in the mechanical sense. And a lot of folks are going to say 40 millimeters or 40.2 is an excellent all-around size. Because it is 46.8 lug to lug, it's not too broad across the wrist. And although it's a little bit squat, it's not as thick as you think, especially when you take the concave bezel into account. It will slide underneath the dress cuff. Here's a 16 centimeter circumference wrist. The strap, a Patek Philippe strap, large rectangular symmetrical scale alligator leather, high gloss finish. We've got a monotone stitch, a folded edge, calfskin lining on the bottom. You can see no crimping, no gouging. Brand new factory strap, pull tab spring bars. You can remove the strap from the case without a tool. Large rectangular symmetrical scales are always an expensive cut of the animal, and Patek has not held back. We have a single fold deployant clasp in matching platinum. Good on you, Patek. A lot of brands these days give you white gold clasps with a platinum watch. Calatrava cross on the buckle, symbol of the company. And there's a little radial spring that makes this snapshot system a bit more secure than your average friction fit clasp. Taking a quick look, you can see how it joins to the strap. We have a top Visselton diamond between the lugs down at 6 o'clock. This is a modern-day platinum Patek Philippe. That is always the subtle signature. If the blinding white shine isn't enough, you can see that Patek case making has become quite sophisticated, as the way these lugs are welded to the case includes quite a few sharp filed junction lines. So welded lugs, a very old-school way of making a case, where you make the lug and the case separately, insert the lugs into the case, and then weld them on. It allows you, provided you have the filing skills, to file a very sharp break between two surfaces. But it does take work, it does take time, and it does take skill. So on a watch like this, you might expect it, but believe it or not, there are machined and stamped cases on six-figure watches from other brands. Patek, good on you. You can see we have a coaxial split-second chronograph trigger on the crown. All this 30 meters water resistant, a concave bezel. The crystal is slightly boxed and cambered. We have a black dial, as mentioned. We have black discs for the day and the month, though not the leap year. There's a crescent moon phase, coaxial with the date indicator. I love the way the size of the numerals waxes and wanes. You can see how big the 31 and the 17 and 15 are, and how pinched the 27 and the 3 and the 5 are. A lovely little nod to the practical constraints of building a compact watch with relatively closely spaced registers. We have a little azurage or concentric pattern for each of the flanking registers. You've got your, let me just stop the chronograph so you can see easily, running seconds and your chronograph minutes indicator. Of course, you're able to split the seconds and gauge the waxing or waning gap between two objects, such as runners around a course or race cars around a track. And because this is a modern Patek Philippe and an in-house caliber, the old 5004 didn't have this, but we do have a hacking seconds function. You'll also appreciate that there's a day-night indicator. It's hiding right there between 7 and 8. It lets you know when you should not use the adjusters on the case flank to set the calendar, and I'll show you what that means. So as we transition to night, you can see how that transitioned from white to blue. When that little circle is dark, do not use the pusher adjusters to set the calendar. Just don't. Perpetual calendar, which means it can deal with irregular length months. It can deal with leap years. It doesn't need to be reset until the year 2100. And then you've got the little crescent-style moon phase at the bottom. That needs to be set once every 122 years. We have a little chemin de fer, or railroad track outboard, for reading your minutes, seconds, and fractions of seconds. We also have little mini railroad tracks for the sub-registers. And then the dial is a wonderful sort of lustrous black with white gold indices and hands, because the white gold will never tarnish or oxidize. It's a fairly sporty watch, and also I applaud them for not feeling obligated to include a tachymeter, as it does open the dial and let it breathe better. Like I said, plenty of lume, no shortage there. This is designed to be your everyday watch. 30 meters water resistant, but please don't take it swimming. Regardless of what Patek says these days about 30 meters, maybe I'm old school, I still think 30 meters means splash and rain exposure only. We have a version of the 29535 right here. So manual wind, 65-hour power reserve, hacking seconds, 4 hertz beat rate, 6-position adjustment, 34 pivot jewels, handmade overcoil hairspring with a free-sprung Gyromax style balance. You can see we have not one but 2 column wheels. We have our lateral clutch. We have the primary capped column wheel. And then we have a secondary underneath the retropont mechanism. We also have the instantaneous minute jumper. And then you can see that the depth of the movement's actually quite good here. And it's quite easy to get lost in the depth of it. As a result, I would not say Lange has a monopoly on chronograph movement architecture or finish. This is really quite special, different from a German watch, but on par. I wouldn't say either has the advantage. They are just distinct in their style. You can see the instantaneous minute jumper right there. And an interesting fact about the way the split-second mechanism works. So when it is stationary, that is when the secondary hand is not in motion and tracking with the primary, there is a decoupler system. And the decoupler system means that the chronograph won't drag and slow the watch when the split has been activated. Lange does that, Patek does that, but most brands in the space do not do that. So it's nice to know that there are levels of refinement you might not even notice, but they're there because that's the ultimate sign of integrity, including features such as finish or engineering that are not recognized or readily apparent because it's the right thing to do. We have a combination of brass bridges and plates and steel chronograph components, beautifully decorated. This is the Patek Philippe of your dreams stylistically. And in terms of engineering, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.